Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Eureka Springs channel. I'm Melody Purdy. We're coming to you live from Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Thank you for joining us today. A big surprise, everybody. You probably have, if you're a local, you know Jim Nelson. I've got him with me today, a local artist. I'm excited to bring him on board today to give you guys a little window in what he's been up to. So please welcome Jim Nelson to the stage.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Glad to be.
Jim. I'm
Hi,
so
I'm
glad to see you. It's been a minute or two since we've seen your face. How are you?
doing okay.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
Yes. I know that we wanted to come on today with you specifically to talk about an art showing that you're going to have coming up. Could you fill everybody in about what's going on, where you're going to
Yep.
be, what time, all the good deals?
The show, there'll be a reception for an exhibition of my current work, which is carved basswood panels, painted with acrylic, all done by hand. And it'll be at the upstairs of Nelson's, 37 Spring Street. And the first reception will be this Sunday from 1 to 5. There'll be refreshments, there'll be Prosecco and some tequila and Cheetos. And then we're going to have another reception the following Sunday. So that'll be November 3rd and November 10th.
Okay.
There'll be about 25 new pieces created this year. And some people are familiar with what I'm doing these days, and there's probably a lot that aren't. But
Right. So let's talk about your art because it's very unique. And I wanted to show a few pictures of some of your art while you're describing it to us.
okay,
In particular, I was very curious about, the medium that you've chosen and why you decided to go that route.
I it's kind of I needed to fill some big old wall spaces in the house that we built about 20 years ago up here by the Crescent Hotel. So I decided I've always liked wood, but I've never really painted on it or carved it or anything. So it was just a big leap of experimentation. And it's led now almost 15, it's over 15 years to the kind of work that I'm doing now, which is a hybrid of painting and carving, relief carving, painting, brush painting with acrylic paints on the carved wood. So and I used to do just abstractions and playing with textures and all of that. There's still that element in there, but now I've started to do some more realistic stuff, fishes and faces. That's the name of the exhibit, Fishes and
Fishes and
Faces.
faces. It's very, very. It's got. I mean, obviously, it's very three dimensional almost. It's
Well, it is,
it's pretty heavy.
and you cannot appreciate it, the hybrid, combining these two mediums does not translate into dimensional images.
Hmm.
You really have to see the stuff in person,
Yeah.
because if you walk around it, it changes, because
Hmm.
it literally changes because your perspective changes. So it has much more, literally much more depth
Yeah.
when you
And
can actually
this
see
one's
it.
my favorite right here out of all the ones you sent to me. I can imagine what this one looks like in person. It's
Well, thanks.
gorgeous. Just
Thank you.
gorgeous.
Well, and on the fishes thing, I don't know where a lot of this stuff, the fishes, started with doodling,
Hmm.
just messing around pencil sketching,
Hmm.
and then the faces came from selfies that I took of myself that I
I like
manipulated,
those too. Those are cool.
and I manipulated the images with a software that came on my iPhone,
Yeah.
and just was playing around. So that's
That's
where those
amazing.
images, and then I translated that to the carving and the painting.
Well, you
Uh,
don't look anything like that. So there you go. I don't
well,
have
that's
this
okay.
like
That's okay. They're fun.
for people that are new to town and for perhaps some of our new audience, people that are not familiar with your journey in Eureka Springs. When did you get here to Eureka Springs and why did you move here?
We, Susan and I moved here in 1975 in the spring. We uh, we were actually hippie leather workers, and we started Nelson Leather back then in the lower level of the Bromstead building. Um, and as the years passed, we've added more stores, and then ended up subtracting stores. We had a Life is Good store. We moved Nelson Leather several different locations over the years. It's been a great ride. So we've been here a long time, but that's how we started as leather workers, working with our hands, making a lot of our own stuff. Not everything, but a lot of it.
Yeah.
And it's evolved over the years to kind of, now we're a dry goods store and we sell a lot of handmade things. And I've got my gallery there, of course.
Hmm.
So
So
that's,
was it a big transition, working with leather and using the tack and all that? Was it a hard transformation to start working with wood?
no, not really, because it's using your hands. Working with your hands is the key.
Hmm.
However that, whatever it takes to work with
Hmm.
your hands.
Hmm.
So it can be painting. I mean, it can be music too. I mean, you're working
Hmm.
with your hands then if you're playing a guitar or a piano. But for me, it was creating stuff using my hands.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and my background, I mean, I've got a bachelor degree in painting and drawing from
Gotcha.
University of Kansas, and I went on to Syracuse and got a master's degree in painting and drawing. But I never really pursued that on you know, a professional level, let's say.
Right. Well, the
Uh,
work is phenomenal. I mean,
Thanks.
can you talk a little bit? I know we were going to talk about this, but I'm just interested at this
Mhm.
point. So the pieces themselves, are they fairly large? Are
Oh,
they? Talk about
okay.
that a little
The,
bit.
well, as I've gotten older, I can't handle those big things like I used to make.
Mm-hmm.
So the panels that I'm using these days are 2 by 2, 2 feet by 2 feet, up to 3 feet by 3 feet, and
Okay.
any combination of dimensions in between there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm limiting myself to these days. The wood is thick; it's almost 2 inches thick, and it's glued up uh, planks
Mm-hmm.
of basswood, which is also called lindenwood. It's
Mm-hmm.
easy to carve, light in color. I paint directly on it. I don't prime it or anything,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes the acrylic paint, real well. Gives it a kind of a natural warmth, and
Yeah.
it's just fun to work with. It's a joy. And I've tried all kinds of woods, and this is it. This is all I need anymore is just basswood.
Well, you kind of shocked me there when you said you didn't prime it. So that kind of
Yeah,
is interesting. Then I guess every cut of wood has a different expression then for you because of
it,
that.
it does. There's not a lot of grain in basswood, which is also called linden, and it's a local wood. It's not some hardwood, exotic wood. Uh, it's light in color and very little grain, and it's the lightest in weight
Hmm.
of all the hardwoods. So it's easy to carve. Uh, it's just a joy to work with.
Yeah. Well, I kept thinking, you've done the stores, you and your wife, you've done the stores all over town,
Hmm.
and the art that it's almost like you've reinvented yourself all over again, putting this art out there for people to enjoy. Has there been a piece over the years that you've been doing this that you just could not part with?
Hmm. There's some pieces that I really like that I I'll I'll part with them because I don't know how to say it. It's just I want if people like something, I want to share that,
Gotcha.
and they
Yeah.
can. And I've got my pricing is odd in that it's all priced the same. It's not how I feel about something that makes it more valuable. Anything. It's priced by the
Interesting.
square, by the size, by the square,
Okay.
actually by the
Okay.
square foot, and that's how a lot of the big boys and girls
No.
price things in the big world.
Right.
So
Well, I'm excited for your show. Tell those folks out there that are still listening with us those dates once more
okay,
for how people can be a part of this.
the work is going to be it'll be the first opening show is this Sunday
Okay.
from 1 to 5 at Nelson's. The
Okay.
work is going to, and then there'll be another opening reception the following
Mm-hmm.
November 10th on a Sunday from
Mm-hmm.
1 to 5 also. And this is with refreshments. But the work
Okay.
is going to hang, it'll
Gotcha.
just be up there indefinitely.
Okay. So that's November the 3rd.
Third,
This Sunday coming up November 3rd. First chance for people to
that's
get their
right.
eyes on your art and enjoy it. I mean, wish you much success and fantastic. I hope it's a fantastic turnout. People mark your calendars and go see Jim's work. It is, like you said, Jim, to really appreciate it, you really have to see it in person. It's really beautiful.
It changes it quite a bit, and I sure appreciate you letting me share this with you and your audience, Melody.
And well, thank you, Jim. And I want to say a big thanks to you. You know, you and your wife have been a large part of the fabric of success here in Eureka Springs. You know, you've always had a wonderful stores, and your art is just, it speaks to so many people. You know, really a part of what we always consider here at the channel, the good people, the good places, and good news. And you certainly hit all of those things. So thank you for all that you have done for Eureka Springs over the years, and we wish you much continued success.
Thanks very much. Appreciate that.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So guys, get out and see Jim Nelson's work this Sunday. It is not to be missed. He is a phenomenal artist. I really love what he does. So be sure and mark your calendars. And we want to give a big shout out to the folks that are helping make this channel possible. Big shout out to Eureka Live, who are sponsoring us this year. We appreciate you guys. Also to Travelers Inn, Eureka Springs. You go and see their particular lodging in downtown Eureka Springs, out on the highway actually. Also, we'd like to give a big thanks to EurekaHouse.com, which has very unique lodging here in Eureka Springs. You gotta go see them and their unique lodging. Really, really beautiful. And also Wonderoo Lodge, who has live music, retro lodging. It is a phenomenal place to visit as well. Because of these particular folks, we are able to keep our calendar and this channel going. If you're looking for a schedule of events, scan this QR code or go to EurekaSpringsChannel.com to keep up with all of the things that are happening here in Eureka Springs. And thank you for joining us. Do us a big favor and click that share button and like us. That helps us get our videos out into the folks that are interested in Eureka Springs. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.